Hi everyone, happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. I hope it's a good Friday for you. They kind of always are for me. I love Fridays, especially when I get to paint. I feel like I tell you guys that every week, but it's pretty awesome. I am working today on that piece about openness. I've painted on it for a couple sessions now, and I am adding to the layers because it's interesting how opening up to new ideas, or maybe even it's reminding yourself of things that you used to be really interested in that you're reopening up to, helps you remember how everything is connected, how there's this kind of deeper underlying theme to everything. There's kind of this pattern that weaves through a lot of the things that you're drawn to and helps you see the different connections people have. The openness to new ideas kind of also helps you like connect to the person who's sharing the idea, and can kind of, I don't know, just give you new perspectives that opens you up to maybe new solutions to problems that have been bothering you, or just being able to feel and connect. So I'm kind of adding in some of these connections, how openness starts to build this like network of new ways of connecting with people. And the reason some of this came up, I've always actually been interested in science, a lot of botany and plant-related science, but also space. That's especially because the influences from my dad. Thanks, Dad. Hi, Dad. Always very interested in the way that space, outer space type space, I mean, not physical space we hold right here, but outer space, the patterns and things like the universe tend to also be reflected at the micro level, which probably is the plant relation connection for me, of looking at things at a cellular level and how much commonality there is between the two, how the patterns tend to be the same. I've always thought that was really cool. So I'm adding some of these patterns that are kind of like, they're the same, they're different, micro, macro level type things. Just gonna add that in. It's more kind of for the essence of adding this in than necessarily that much of it will come through from a painting standpoint. But one of the things that I was doing recently was looking at some astronomy, the space side of astronomy, and reading a bit more about it, remembering the sorry, kind of distracted today. Oh, I've been using a different brush today. I really like the flat guys. They're probably my favorite, but I thought this would be a fun one to add in some different textures, some different ways of moving around the paint today. Also using a medium that can kind of loosen up acrylic paint and add a bit of flow. So you can just add some different textures, some interesting ways that the paint moves. Waylon. Hi Waylon, he's visiting and he's being nice and loud today. But with reading more about astronomy, one of the things that I read that was really interesting for me was, oh, there goes my puppy is playing. Apologies if it's kind of loud. They were talking about dimensions and how we know that there are 3 dimensions because we can observe them. The example they used was like a pipeline, a water pipeline, or you could picture like an oil pipeline, and how if you're standing at eye level with a pipeline, you can see all 3 dimensions. You can see the length of it, the height of it, and then the depth of it. But as you move further away, you start to lose some of that perspective, to the point where if you move high enough and far enough away, it actually becomes almost like a flat line. So it looks like at that perspective that there's only 1 dimension, when we know that's not true because we've been able to observe that there are truly 3 dimensions. So this concept of knowing that you can't always observe all of the dimensions of something, there's this really interesting theory about that there might be many more dimensions that we just can't observe. That there's a possibility there are many more dimensions, it's just something that we can't see right now. Kind of like if we were to always live in a world where we could only ever see from a bird's eye view, we would think things were a lot more flat than they truly are, because that's the only perspective we could measure or see or observe. So it's really an interesting kind of on the theme of openness, being open to these new ideas of the possibility of dimensions that we don't even know about. I just thought that was pretty cool. Very interesting concept for openness today. I hope this is actually recording today. I had a lot of difficulty. But yeah, so being open to the possibilities. It's just fascinating that there's just so much we know we don't know, and kind of how cool that is to explore. I'm gonna add in this big guy here. I'm liking how this is going, but it's got a lot of lots of small movement, which is great, but openness also, I really want to keep capturing the expansiveness, how big openness can be. Airy, with lots of movement and openness. I like the adding this too of openness feeling like kind of an ever expanding thing. The way that it can kind of move and grow. That is kind of something that like you build on it, almost like it builds up momentum. So kind of adding in a bit of that, like keeping the movement and the motion, but kind of also capturing how it expands and opens up. Some of that expanding, bringing in a little bit of those connections that we built underneath it. They're kind of almost like the framework, openness kind of becoming the framework for connections. Keeping some of that in there. These little ways things link up and move and build. I'm liking the energy and warmth that this little bit of like, here I'll get a little close up of it, this gold color, I don't know if you can see it. It just adds I like energy, the energy of openness being a very kind of warm feeling to me. it's bright and light, but it also has a lot of warmth. Nope, pushing the painting around there, sorry. Yeah. I like the feeling of, there we go, sorry about that, possibilities that openness can have. Like the limitlessness of it, if that makes any sense. Acknowledge that possibility. It's kind of the energy around openness, like being open to like potential, to the surprising, fun little things that can come out of it, being open. Kind of quiet today, just, you know, enjoying the making. Sometimes that's okay too. Kind of just appreciating the process, the feeling of just being with it, just kind of being open to whatever's gonna come out of it. That's always kind of nice. Sometimes it's like, oh, cool, there we go, that works. Kind of feel to it, which is very much in the realm of being open to whatever's gonna happen. I do like how this medium that loosens stuff up kind of forces you to be open to whatever's gonna happen. I like that about it. It's very fun. White in the palette. This piece had a lot of white, and I assume if I continue, I'll probably add more. But I like the depth of adding color in with white, so that it gives us this richness and this texture. Like how white can add a lot of like breathing room and openness just by filling a space with just nuance and movement. Just the like slight subtle changes of white can pull your eye through something, give you, it's almost like a breath of fresh air kind of feel to it. I like that about white, so I definitely like having it as part of feeling open. I like the way that white moves your eye to the things that are bright and colorful, that it helps you kind of like, I don't know, celebrate those colors. Hello. Gonna be open to what's gonna happen here. I suppose openness is a pretty big theme for me in my work in general. Being open to what's gonna happen here. And I suppose if you were to bring openness into your space, I mean, just saying something that's expansive and open and flowing is going to kind of bring you into that. If you started your day, every day, thinking about what you could be open to that day, or who you could be open to. Maybe it's a coworker that's hard to take the time to listen to to be open to their opinion. Maybe you could start your day a little more ready for that, so that when it becomes a bit of a challenge, remembering that you're open to the possibilities that might come out of it. You never know. I feel like the more I paint, the more I start talking like Bob Ross. He had something. He knew what he was doing, man. There's a reason he was pretty amazing. And now I'm bringing in just a touch of this like silver, if you can see it. It's got an interesting depth to it too. I think it's got, it almost kind of back to the astronomy, not astrology. It almost kind of feels like it's got element to it, like iron meteor, kind of like from another world type openness to it too. It moves in really interesting ways with that medium that I put in here. Kind of flows really well. I don't know if you can see it over here. Yeah, I like how it adds a bit of depth and richness. Okay, that's about it for me today. I figured maybe I could try this. Hopefully I won't make you all sick, but maybe I could give you a little bit of an aerial view of the work, because apologies, it's hard to find good angles. I'm working on that, but there you go. Here's where we are today. Maybe I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. I'll go slow so I don't make anyone sick. I am extremely sensitive to motion, so. And you can hear my dogs having wrestling mania in the background. They like Fridays too. Alright, thank you everyone. Have a good Friday.